Okay, let's talk about how to paint a car and also about some airbrush artwork. My name is Martin. I'm a German designer and custom painter, and this is one of my cars, a Renault Clio. Here you can see me masking some areas, the windows and also the doors. I pushed the prepared car into the paint booth. All panels are sanded and prepared for the new paint job. And you can see also an area on the trunk where I have removed the Renault emblem to get a flat surface for an airbrush motif. I started with a silver base coat, and over this base coat I applied a purple pink mix. It's a transparent mix, and if you use transparent colors you need a base color like silver. I started with the inner sections and I sprayed over 3.5 liters of this purple pink mix. I started with a thin first layer. It's a kind of shadowish, but I needed 3 to 4 more layers with a delay of 10 to 15 minutes to get full color. And it took some time. You have to spray the fenders and the bonnet in one step to reach the same color on the fenders. And I'm a little bit small, I needed this tire. I'm only 1.8 meter high. So this tire helps me to reach the roof of the car. And on the bottom section I will apply another color. Here you can see me mixing some flakes in a transparent base coat. It looks white, but it's not white. It dries transparent. And the car is for a girl, so I added these nice glittering flakes. Here you can see the car after the application of the flakes and 2 layers of clear coat. And the color pops out very nice. You can see the transparency on the side mirrors, on the handles, and it's a lovely color. And after the clear coat hardened, I had to sand the complete car by hand. I used also a rotary for the flat areas. But you have to be very careful. You can ruin your paint job very easy when you use a rotary. So I decided to use sandpaper and sand it by hand. That's the trunk, and I loaded a kind of off-white in my gun to spray the bottom section of the car in an off-white. And I applied also a first thin layer. Let it dry another 10 minutes before I applied 2 more layers of the white color. Also on the inside of the trunk. And that was a first test for the color combination. If something goes wrong, you have to respray only the trunk, not the complete car. Demasking is like Christmas. You can find out how the colors stay together the first time. I like demasking very much. And after I've sprayed the white, I sprayed also another layer of clear coat, sanded the trunk again before I started with my airbrush artwork. That's the first layer of the airbrush. I decided to spray a geisha on the trunk. And I used the pink for the skin tone. So our graphics are tone in tone. And it was a lot of masking. These are the handles of the 2 katanas. And I decided to spray also some cherry blossoms. Here you can see me spraying some pink shadows in the cherry blossoms. And it's acrylic color, it's airbrush color. And I added also some gold areas because later on I will spray a gold body line so the graphic matches also to the complete car and the body line. Be careful when you remove the masking tape. Don't rip it off too fast. You can rip off also some color, and it's a pain in the ass when you are ready with spraying and you remove the color you don't want to. And that is the fun part of my job. When I see the motif the first time, I decided to add also a kind of Japanese sun in a light gray shadow. You can see it also only when the clear coat is applied in the sunlight. You can see the light gray on the mask of the geisha, but it will appear also on the white areas after I've applied the clear coat. Take your time when demasking. Don't hurry. You hate yourself when you rip off some color in this stadium of work. It was 11 to 12 p.m. I like to work at night because it's silent and I can concentrate to my work. I added also a shadow behind the geisha, so the motif gets a kind of 3D effect. You can see the shadow underneath the handles of the katanas. That's my girlfriend. She helped me with the application of the side graphics. I decided to do a kind of California style line graphic on the fenders and the front doors, which match the body line. And I used also some masking tape for these stripes. You can use this foil or only masking tape. I use the foil because I have a sign maker. And that is golden masking tape, some kind of line tape. The body line is over 3 meters long, so I like to use this line tape. Get it straight over all the doors and the rear fenders. And I decided to spray the doors each because I like to spray the inside of the doors as well, and so you can reach the inside very easy. I like it very much when the motif goes all around the car, also on the inside. When you open the door, it looks very nice. Here you can see me spraying the first layer of white. Don't spray too much color in the first step. I also sprayed 3 layers with a delay of 10 to 15 minutes in between every layer. And it's time consuming. It's not so easy as it looks like. It took more than an hour to spray the white areas on the doors on the bottom section. I like to use this masking tape paper for the panels, but it's a mess. You use a lot of masking paper. Here you can see me spraying the body line. It's a little bit tricky on the area where the handles are mounted. You need smaller stripes because the tape lifts off very easy when you spray. So I use smaller strips of the masking tape. And I did the same on the car, on the rear fenders, front fenders. White is an easy color. You can spray the doors each. If you have a transparent colors, you need to spray the color when the doors are mounted. Here you can see me while sanding the car. I prepped every layer. With a Scotch-Brite and some paper. I use the smaller masking paper for the stripes because I will use a smaller gun that's used for spot repair, so you don't need to mask the complete car, only an area of around about 30 to 40 centimeters around your stripe. And I started with the silver base coat because all purple and pink colors are transparent, so you need this silver base coat. And I faded in a transparent pink. If you use transparent colors, you have to spray the fender and the door in one step to match the color. Masking and demasking are the most time-consuming parts of the paint job. Spraying is easy, but masking takes a lot of time. I added also some smaller stripes with this small masking tape. And there's no need to do a file with a graphic software, you can do it by hand. And I faded in some pink. I have to mark also these stripes on the bumper because the graphic is like a curve, like a bow, and the stripes have to match also the bumper in the right height. So I mounted the bumper, marked these stripes, and dismounted the bumper before I sprayed them. Here you can see me masking the area where the handles are mounted. It's a little bit tricky. And I used also the masking paper. And that's the body line. It's a little bit bigger on the front, so it matches the graphics. I like this color combination very much, the off-white, the purple and the gold. These are my favorite colors. I decided to spray another geisha on the bonnet, on the bump and the bumper. And as mentioned, I'm a graphic designer, so I use the graphic software to draw the geisha and use the sign maker for these stencils. Be careful when you remove the back paper. Sometimes you rip off some smaller parts with the back paper. So take your time. If you hurry, you can ruin your stencil. And when you're only one person and you have such a big stencil, it's not easy to apply it straight. You can see also a Japanese tea house on the window. And the bonnet is a little bit curved, so it's not so easy to apply the masking tape. Maybe you'll find a helping hand It's a disadvantage if you work at night, you're alone, and you have to do the application also by yourself. That's the first layer of the geisha. It's only an outline, but I sprayed the complete surface, because if you spray only an outline, you get a gap in between the outline and the next layer of color. So spray the complete surface with your outline color. And I added also some marks. Here you can see these orange crosses, and these crosses help me to rearrange the masking tape in the correct position. I have these crosses also in the masking tape, and they are not part of the motif. They are only to stick on the masking tape in a correct position, and that makes it easy. And from now on, I have to use my little airbrush, and I will do a lot of freehand airbrushing. On the left side, you can see a picture of the geisha in gray tones. And I started with the highlights first, the white highlights, and added some pink and purple shadows until I got the face and the hand. That's time consuming. It took me 8 hours. I'm not the fastest. But I like the combination of masking and freehand work. If you use only freehand work, it's a kind of shadowish. And when you use these masks, you get sharp edges. And I like these sharp edges. It looks like a graphic, like a kind of computer graphic, but handmade. And that's what I want. You can see the Japanese tea house on the top of these cherry blossoms. I decided also to add cherry blossoms to the bumper and the bonnet, so the motif matches the one in the back. I added some more colors, also the gold tone, which I used for the bodyline. And after I have removed all the masking paper and masking tape, I sprayed some more highlights into these cherry blossoms. And after I've sprayed my motif, I had to apply some more clear coat, 1 or 2 layers, sand it in between, and that's the ready painted car. I had to assemble a car, and that's the car on our holiday in Denmark on Farnø Island. And that's all I had to do. So I hope you liked this video. Thanks for watching. And if you have any questions, leave a comment. Or if you like my artwork, you can leave also a comment. Thanks for watching and see you soon.